Did you hear Scythian horses?
Blinding wildness.
There is a very interesting phenomenon called music of Prokofiev. Come into this world, learn yourself as much as you can, and it will be certainly not the boring hour of your life.
Trombones. Three before the end. Yeah, this chord. Yeah, wild scream. No. Ah! Something like that. It shouldn't come like another harmony. Yeah. You fight, and you kill. Something like this. Okay.
For me as a conductor, it's especially interesting to know how important this Scythian suite was for Sergei Prokofiev. And in front of son of great composer, who is for me maybe my favorite composer, I want to learn as much as possible about life, music, and the thoughts of Prokofiev, because it is certainly one of most mysterious decisions this great composer made at the beginning of century. Ну, похоже на что-нибудь?
Похоже. Ну, я очень волнуюсь, когда слушаю эту музыку.
Да, скифская. А скажи, какое место занимала скифская свита вообще вот для Сергея Сергеевича, как вы думаете?
Трудно сказать. Я как-то с ним никогда на эту тему не говорил. In 1914, Gergiev Valery had a season in London. And my father was introduced to Gergiev. There were some connections. And he played him the second piano concerto. And Gergiev was very impressed. But he thought maybe he could write something else. And he suggested to meet a poet called Gradetsky in Russia, who could do for him a story based on ancient times. So he came back to Russia very excited because for the first time, he saw the ballet Petrushka, Firebird, or Daphnis and Chloe, and he saw a great challenge in it. And he started working with this poet. Then, next year, in 1915, he met not only Gergiev, but also Stravinsky, who was there. And at that time, they became quite good friends. And Gergiev wasn't anymore so interested in this story. Of course, he asked him to play something. And he played on piano some sketches he has written. And Gergiev said, no, he dismissed. That's no good. You must write a ballet, different. You must find a good Russian subject. Well, people ask, why? Is it truly that Gergiev didn't like the music? I personally, I'm not sure at all. I think he just changed his mind. Probably because just in Europe there was a big war, so perhaps it was more important to write something nationalist, something rather based on Russian culture. And Stravinsky helped to find. That's an interesting detail. Why did Stravinsky help him to find this story? I really suspect he didn't want him to write anything similar. He probably might have said to Gergiev, look, you have one rite of spring, why do you want another? But the fact is that the Scythian suite was sort of became an orphan, was abandoned. If it was already finished, then he would have brought an orchestral score and it would have been played. Maybe Gergiev would have another thought. But imagine this music played on piano. It's all in colors and instruments. It probably loses half of its effectiveness.
Well, the Scythian suite should be treated as a purely musical orchestral statement from Prokofiev about harmony, about color, light and shadow, about energy and all these things, which I thought without being so much linked to Gergiev and his ideas or not was before Prokofiev met Gergiev, after they split, after Gergiev died, was always in the genes, in the blood of Sergei Prokofiev.
Thank you. Very good. Trombones, one forte from figure one, 1/4. It's leader speaking. Leader speaking. Very primitive words. Ta, yes, ta da, ta da, ta da da. You are a leader, chorus, something like this. But it's really the voice dominating. It doesn't matter if you are speaking loud. It's a character of your voice. That it's so focused that immediately the concentration from tutti, ta da 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 ta da, ta da, ta da da. Yeah. You know, it's a music for ballet normally. So the vision when we play, the vision, what about is the story, is very, very important. Yeah? And I told you yesterday shortly that it's about the ancient times when people really looked maybe at their life quite differently with us. With others. So it's, if you fight and you are on the horse, yeah? And you have a big sword and you are quite strong, yeah? And after that you come and play skiff and suite, please find where you have this flexible force. Figure 3 should come after slight diminuendo in the brass section or in percussion as well. Before 3. But it shouldn't come like always a boom, second time boom, and so on. And you get immediately tired. It's in your hands. Prokofiev gave you direction, fortissimo. But make everything what is important brilliant the moment it appears, and after that, lighter, please. 3 before 2. 3, 4. Thank you. In fact, brass is okay. It's they know what they do. It's figure 2, please. Figure 2 with woodwinds, no strings. Woodwinds and all this stuff here. Figure 2, please. 1. Yes, so you have your flags in your hands. It shouldn't come like accompaniment. I think diminuendo doesn't help at all. Yeah, joy. Yeah. It certainly doesn't look like this army is going to lose. Huh? Doesn't look like that. Yeah, they go to win. It's figure 2, please. Figure 2. Maybe tutti together, all together. Piano and harps. It's very important that continuation of glissandi is always. Yeah, always. Figure 2. 1.
For the Scythian suite, it will be very important for us to achieve dynamic range, which is a big challenge because it's a loud piece. I think it can be killed by unattentive playing. It will be just a big noise, which I think was the case many times with this suite. I think it was performed this way many times. Not always, but quite many times, you know. It tends to be on the louder side. At the same time, if you find why composer needs big sound, you start to enjoy it. I don't think Stravinsky influenced the music of Prokofiev so much. It was the challenge. Prokofiev just responded, I think. And some of the music composed by Prokofiev, his very early, stage of his life and career, was already at least as progressive and new as Stravinsky. Prokofiev didn't belong to school here or there. I think Prokofiev was a very Russian composer, but he didn't copy anyone. I can't see a bar of Prokofiev's music copying even great Russians, like Tchaikovsky. Just avoided any, I think, parallels. That was his unique ability, his own face in music. But in the Scythian suite, I think it's energy, power, and mysticism what excited him so much. Plus maybe the challenge that there was another man, very powerful, Stravinsky, who already moved quite far.
One. Thank you. The orchestration here is like the, let's say, after a huge field full of people, they leave and they leave and they leave, and just a cloud of dust. So, and you see something. Oh, wow. Imagine it's not a tari tara 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 tara, but and still, thousands of people leave. Horses, whatever. Well, I ask you to play not with the sound which you use for tara. Yeah. Until it's totally gone, and we start with a new image. I mean bass clarinet and clarinet, and so that play quite wide. I mean quite not focused. You see, not focused. 7 straight, please. I wish I was a ballet master. Make it a nice staging. Tenuti. Morendo. We don't have to hear how you cut your voice. Thanks. So, which means there is also some individuals now presented. Individuals. It's certainly not a choral voice, correct? Tam, 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 and they're gone. Nobody here. And you speak to each other. How was your day? Did you eat? Did you like the sun? Dialogue. It shouldn't come exactly like copying. It's dialogue. Huh? Let's say of 2 youngsters, but something that make it very much a piece of theater again. Figure 10. 1. Speak full voice, full voice. Thank you. That was That was good, but you know what I think is it's enormous development. Tararara, 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 tararari, rararara, tararari, tari. Tarara, tarara. You can treat it like something. Oh yes, oh I forgot. This is what I wanted to say. And again, this one. And this is like lullaby. Oh, don't react on this. It says forte. It says forte. It's not me. It says forte. Bass clarinet, good, but you can make it a bit more clear in the beginning. Yeah. I'm here. Yeah. Don't forget, I'm also. Yeah. I will participate. Yeah. Okay. Figure 10. 1. one request. This. Da 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 da. And again. Run as fast as possible. Ja da 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 da. Hey da 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 da. Come. Not a machine. Ta 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 ta. La ta 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 ta. Kita ta 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 ta. Kita ta ta ta. Kita. You spend time on this note, please, a bit, and spend bow, okay? 22, please. 22. I think I'm becoming choreographer really, huh? I should stop conducting. 22, please. 1.
It is very important for me as an artist to have, from time to time, experiences like I just had with the Scythian Suite, and quite precise, I think more interesting is subjective approach, which is not fixed in a libretto, which is not fixed in some historical books, but I am rather interested in describing what is Scythian culture.
So for conductor, this is the question of how to use his personality and his education and his, well, the strength of his character, if he has at all the character, that the musicians will be very quickly involved in the atmosphere of the piece. It doesn't really matter how well you move with your hands. It should be in your face, it should be in your expression. It is already my secret what I do. I did today one important change with orchestration. So it was my decision. Not because I do not respect Prokofiev. I thought it will work better this way. So it's my responsibility.
Let's do the following thing. I try one thing. Tutti orchestra, your attention. 3 before the end, percussion. I give you 1 fermata. In piano. Ta-ta-tam-pam. I want you to listen to this harmony more. It will be a fermata on this part. And percussion section. You start 1. Yeah? But start really pianissimo. If we can do simply 4 bars before the end now. 4 before the end. Okay? 1. Ta-ta-tam is more like like ta-ta-tam, pa. 2 before the end, shorter. Before you have this tenuto, so once more 4 before the end, please. 1. Intermission, please.
Потом это произведение, я сам это произведение пробую вот как картину.
Да, это нужно.
Надо пробовать, потому что его нельзя пустить как та-та-та-та-та-та и подряд. Надо всегда как краски.
Как сказка.
Как рисовать. Да. Здесь, потом другой цвет, колор.
Ну, как ты все объяснил, это все ясно?
Да, ну
понятно.
Первые 2 части готовые. И
уже хорошо,
сейчас
да.
тоже это, по-моему, неплохо. Да, остался финал немножко еще. Я думаю, ты знаешь, где надо только сделать? Вот. Это уже нормально.
Это, конечно, дико трудно здесь. Это не может. Естественно, я сам не могу. Это ужасно. Он там писал, и такая ужасно.
Просто, наверное,
это ужасно. Даже на концерт не играл, ты знаешь?
Знаешь, как можно сыграть? Дивизиум?
Да.
А здесь все. Я не знаю,
Ну,
что...
вообще слышно, что мы не все играем?
Ну, слышишь, что глиссандо такое.
Это действительно балет, да?
Это было написано для балета, да. Но не сделал Дягилев. Не делал.
Дягилев?
У него написано, нет, не делал. Видимо, не понял музыку. Ну, сейчас, конечно, я вообще хочу это в Мариинском театре сделать. I started to think that it would be a good idea to put this ballet on stage of Mariinsky Theater. I started to think yesterday. I think I have to find a choreographer, a good choreographer. maybe Western choreographer. With real imagination, because what you need is also very powerful, like for Rite of Spring, when the athletic sort of side of the dance is also.
I
very
think
important.
they do this time.
They do.
Yes.
I occasionally go back to the Caucasus, where I'm from. It's the area of high mountains, area of very fresh air, very fast rivers, very fresh and cold waters, icy waters, running from the high mountains down with enormous power and energy. It happens that I'm Ossetian, and Ossetians are the only direct heirs to the Scythian culture. It was quite a big and strong, powerful country, very strong culture, as we see from, for example, in exhibitions, or these wonderful, wonderful golden figures, all these faces and those horses, and which have expression. There is an inner power. When you look at the small golden head of some warrior, and you immediately see it, it's very interesting. So it came to us through centuries. This is where Prokofiev could be attracted to the Scythian culture. It's a mystery link, mysterious link through the centuries, which maybe we feel here, maybe we feel here, maybe we feel around us, that it's some, sort of call from our grandfathers. Yes, in this case, I think maybe Prokofiev felt something like that, composing Scythian suite. tell you, it is very, very pleasant to a small detail comes clearer. We just exchanged with Marina. It's a pom pom, pom pom, pom pom, pom pom. Yeah. It's not piano we are looking for now. It's I would call it a very clear ear opening. You know, this is it's not just but pure gold, everything what is written. So support your sound. It should sound like constant melody, even the yeah. And it comes to life. After that, we soften. Figure 39, please. 39. 1. Listen, listen. New rhythm. New. Thank you. Thank you. I think why Prokofiev decided to compose Scythian Suite. Again, I repeat, it's about maybe 15, maybe 200 years ago. All of us, I think, once or many times, better to say, are fascinated with, for example, you visit Egypt or you visit Jerusalem. You know, you look and you ask yourself, is it a progress we all together witnessing, or opposite thing? I think as a young composer, as an extremely strong and successful artist, he found the most interesting subject in. So I just was listening again to the tuba voice. It just says solo, but please make it so that it will look as interesting as some unbelievable, well, this faces of this sphinx, you know, we call it in Egypt. You can't explain. What is that? You know? So find you as an artist, find yourself where you put it with espressivo, so that, but how you move from D, play it please, 41 for me. And look, first note. Is it just everyday feeling? Why don't you play? One does not expect this second note to be placed here because the first promises something else. Yeah? If it comes as a surprise and a nice surprise to you, the public will enjoy it even more. Yeah? But it's not about 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you know. Who needs classical music again? Yeah? It's so boring. Yeah? Make it more interesting. Every detail. Also to first trumpet. Yeah? Phrase it. It's a human voice, okay? 41, please. One. Even more.
We look at the score and we just try to find the logic. Why? Ta 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 ta.
We have to find what is interesting about these very primitive things. It's all just 1, 2 notes. But altogether it makes it exceptionally interesting, especially when it becomes clear. That means that you have to start, let's say, clearing. I want this detail not to disappear. I want this voice to dominate. I want this voice to support. I want this voice to appear and after that go into the shadow, it's something like this. Oh, this ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. This move is already another step. So you build tension, you build, colors, you put it together. So, but this is, I think, the way how it was composed.
Prokofiev himself was a bad boy of music in conservatory. And the director of Petersburg Conservatory, Glazunov, could hardly stand Prokofiev and his new ideas.
The relationship between Prokofiev and Glazunov were rather complicated because Glazunov recommended him to the conservatory, but he didn't know what he's, as the Russians say, that he grew a snake on his chest, you know. So my father sometimes was simply called the Skith. For a Russian ear, he's Scythian. That has connotations, you know, that he's wild, he doesn't fit into anything. The Scythian suite represents a kind of something like blinding wildness. Something happened. It was premiered in Petersburg, and Glazunov, who suddenly, at the very end of the piece, when the sunrise begins, and he just stood up and walked out, doesn't want to listen. Well, if you look at a photograph of this period, you can see that he's not a man who is afraid of something like this, of a scandal, because he understands that he's writing something new. But I love this photograph especially because you can see an angry young man, you know, he's ready to challenge society, to fight against the existing opinions and structures, you know, really revolutionary.
I want to thank you because that was the best moment of rehearsal so far. Brass players, it's highly demanding, highly impressive. When demand goes lower, impression goes totally down. You see the difference? Totally down. If it was a dull music, I would tell you, well, great players should serve bad music. Well, better I say good players should save great music, the players become better. You see what I mean? Because music helps you to look better, because it's written so well. But you have to work hard and to see what is the idea of composer. It is clear. Once you rest 1 quarter, I lose the feeling which was there for 1 minute. 1 quarter, I just look at it. Ta, ta, finished. So if you want to please me once in a season, you should do it with this piece, with this voice. Ta, ra, ri, ra, ri, ra, 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 and always, always. It's not about giving more sound or more. It's just that it should, you know. Did you ever look at sun like this? You can't, yeah? So bright. This sound should be like this, yeah? So much fire in it, and that will work very well, okay? Thank you very much.
I am, first of all, terribly happy that Gergiev did it, and I'm really particularly moved by the fact that he thinks it's almost a piece for him because he's like a descendant himself of the Scythians, you see. Now, the way he does is very extraordinary, and every time I hear this piece, this suite, I'm amazed why people know it so little, you know. But Gergiev managed to find in it something very extraordinary. Unlike many other conductors, he realized that the end of the symphony, of the suite, with the sunrise, is really the climax of the work, but not just a sort of, you know, let's have a very effective, bright ending. It's not that. The whole suite is leading towards that, and he understood it very well. So the whole structure sort of brings to that. And although seemingly it happens suddenly, but that's how it should be. Any great event, even if you expect it, happens suddenly. He really brings it to that and makes out of it really something very extraordinary.
No, Олег Sergeyevich. Спасибо. Sometimes, you know, the music which I look at or I even perform still doesn't take everything what I can find in my own modest, but it's important for me, my experience. You know. But here I immediately feel how I get sort of my abilities working together with the ideas of composers, or at least I am always provoked to think, oh, this is about this, or this is the character, or this is the color, or this is the contrast. It goes like this, which I think is a strength of music.